Hey lovelies, Kristin here again, and in today's video I'm going to be taking you through every single thing you need to know about how to start intermittent fasting. So keep watching to find out my tips. So it's another Sweat is Pretty update video, and as always I do this video once a month in collaboration with a bunch of lady YouTuber friends of mine who we're all in an accountability group together for fitness. So we're all trying to either lose weight or maintain weight, and once a month we come on here on YouTube and post about our progress. In terms of my progress, I've just been a lot more consistent with my working out, continuously with my intermittent fasting. Not much weight loss on the scale, in fact not much at all. Like, it hasn't moved since the last time. So since I started this weight loss journey, I've lost 30 pounds, and if you want to find out about that, I'm going to link my last month's video up here for you, because this month we are talking all about how to start intermittent fasting. So what exactly is intermittent fasting? Intermittent fasting is pretty much a period in time where you are eating and when you are not eating. Pretty much that summarizes it. So all you want to do is make sure that the time period that you are not eating for is at least equal to the time period where you are eating, or more. Equal or more, okay? Let me know if you understand what I mean. So the time where you are not eating needs to be equal to or more than the period of time where you are eating. It is not a diet whatsoever. It is not a keto diet. It's not a, calorie counting diet. It's not a diet. Scrap that out. It is not a diet, okay? That's the good thing I like about this. It is not a diet whatsoever, because you can pretty much eat whatever you want. It is just a pattern of eating, and that is it. Not a diet, just a pattern of eating. So there are different methods of intermittent fasting that you can do. The first one is the 16-8 method. That's the one that I do, which means that you fast for 16 hours in a day and you have an eating window of 8 hours to eat pretty much anything you want to eat. The next one is the 5-2 method, which pretty much says that you can, eat your normal food for 5 days of the week, and for 2 days of that week you're pretty much fasting. So 5 days of the week you're pretty much eating regularly for those 5 days, and then you fast for 2 days, restricting your calorie intake to around 500 to 600 calories a day for those 2 days. Okay, so that's the second method. That's the 5-2 method. Another way you can intermittent fast is called the eat-stop method, which is pretty much where you fast 24 hours, either once or twice in a week, and the other days you just pretty much eat regularly. Very similar to the 5-2 method, but like I mentioned, you can pretty much choose any of these methods. You don't have to go with the 16-8. You can do your research and find out which one fits specifically to your lifestyle and to your schedule, which is highly important. I do the 16-8 method because I start my eating from around 1 p.m. and it ends around 9 p.m. for example. And for me that's better, because I never really used to be a wake up in the morning, eat breakfast type of person. I was always like a lunch type of person and like a light dinner type of person. So 1 to 8 works for me, and the rest of the time I was happy to fast. As mentioned before, you really can make it work for you. Like, there's no set way in which intermittent fasting works, and that's why I started off with giving you the different types of intermittent fasting that you can do. Just research about intermittent fasting methods and you can literally pick a schedule. That's the first thing you need to do, is pick a plan. Okay, pick a plan. For me, I do the 16-8 as mentioned earlier, but what plan are you going to start off with? Go ahead and choose now. Now that you've passed that first step of choosing a plan, what you now want to do is go ahead and start. Now, before you start, here's one tip I'd recommend. The night before you start, go ahead and eat a high fiber meal. Yes, a high fiber meal, which would make you fuller. It would keep you fuller for the rest of the day. So it's your first day, I guarantee you that you would definitely get hungry. So what you want to do is go and preempt that by eating a high fiber meal. You definitely don't want to wake up the next day starving. Like, It happens. Trust me, it will happen. Especially if you're used to eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner, 3 meals in a day. Like, you will wake up the next morning starving if you don't eat a high fiber meal. So go ahead and eat a high fiber meal, and that would probably be able to sustain you at least up until your eating window. It will take roughly like 3 days to about a week for your body to adjust to this new thing that you're trying out with it. So definitely give your body time to adjust to it. Like, you need to give your body time to adjust to it. So for that, you know, space of time where your body's adjusting, you're definitely going to need to, you know, work with how you're feeling. But as much as possible, try to keep your, you know, work through the entire fast. Like, don't break your fast before the fasting period ends. So just make sure that during your eating period, you're eating enough food that can last you through your fasting period, at least for the first 3 days to 1 week. So what happens during this fasting period when your body is now used to it is that your body then begins to turn that fat into fuel. Yes, energy for your use. So, you know, you need to give it a bit of time to get used to it so that your body can begin to do that. And the more you do this, the less hungry you get over time. So it's not gonna happen in 1 day, it's probably not gonna happen in 1 week, but you just find out that 1 month later you're already used to this pattern of eating. So in as much as the 16-8 plan is the most optimal in the sense that, you know, that's where you start seeing real, true, you know, snatching results, don't try and start with the 16-8 if you feel like it's not something that you can do. You can go ahead and start with the 12-hour plan. You know, for your first week, for example, start with 12 hours fasting and then add an hour every single day for the rest of the week, and by the end of the week you're at 16 hours. Hey, so ease yourself into it. Don't start with the 16 hours. Like, I remember when I first started, this is not my first round of intermittent fasting I've ever tried. So far I've been intermittent fasting for 9 months now, consistently. But last year, 2019, I had actually started intermittent fasting, and what I didn't know then was that I jumped right into starting with 16 hours, and what happened after a month or 2 months? Cancelled. Stop doing it. Yeah, because after a while you might start out and you have that drive initially, but what happens when you lose the drive? You know, you're just going to be unable to follow through. So like I said, ease yourself into it. Start with 12 hours, add an hour every single day for the rest of the week. By the end of the week you'll be at 16 hours and you'll be like, yeah, who said I couldn't do this? And before you know it, in a month, 2 months, 3 months, you know, you're doing it without any big deal at all, really. Pretty much just do whatever your body likes and whatever your body needs, because if you're going against what your body is asking you to do, it's going to be hard to keep up. Yeah, so you need to learn to interact with your body. Listen to when you're hungry, when you're not hungry. Only eat when you're hungry, and don't eat when you're not hungry. Pretty much, you know. It's called intuitive eating. Let's delve into that for a second. So you could have been doing intermittent fasting for about, you know, weeks now. 1 month, let's assume it's been 1 month. You've been great, you've been good, you've been sticking to your fasting periods and whatnot. But now, just this random one day, you know, it's now 10:30, which is way past your eating window, but you're like hungry because you weren't able to eat during your eating window. What are you supposed to do? Well, what I say is eat. Like I just said, if your body wants to eat, make sure you give your body food, right? Don't make it a habit of doing it every single day, but ensure that you give your body food when your body wants food. And what I do when I eat past my eating window is I then just say, okay, from when I ate my last meal, I then count my fasting hours from then. You know, try not to be inconsistent, you know, with your daily hours of fasting or eating periods and whatnot. But if you have random, you know, days where you've had a busy day and you were unable to eat, make sure that you go ahead and eat. Give your body what you need in that moment. Do not starve yourself. It is a fast. It is not starvation. Okay? I've been doing this, like I said, for about 9 months, and right now my body is very extremely used to my fasting hours. I fast, my standard fasting hours are 9 p.m. up until 1 p.m. the next day. So my eating period is 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. So that's 8 hours, and then 16 hours of fasting. But what I wanted to point out here is that it wasn't always like this. I remember nights when I'd be like, oh my god, I'm so hungry, and then I'd go and grab like a biscuit or whatever. So I could have started my fast at 9 p.m. and then I'm like, I'm so hungry, and then I go and like binge on something, and then I'm like, no, I need to start my fast again. You know what I mean? So it's not going to be easy from the start, but give your body what you need in the moment and make sure that you continue to be consistent with it. Don't say, oh, I'll do it today, I won't do it tomorrow, I'll do it today, unless obviously that's the method that you're following. But make sure you're following the method to the T. Like, don't create too many of your own leeways and rules around it. Do you get what I mean? Do you get what I mean? Do you get what I mean? After a while, you're just going to know when your body is hungry and when your body is not hungry. And in those moments when your body is not hungry, you're not going to find the urge to eat. So what had happened before I had started intermittent fasting was that I'd probably eat when I'm bored, I'd eat when I have a craving, I'd eat just because the food was there. I just pretty much eat at random times. But what happens when you're intermittent fasting is that, like I said before, intuitive eating, right? So your body's like, okay, Kristin, I'm hungry right now, and you're like, okay, cool, let's go get a meal and eat this. And then your body's like, well, not really hungry, so not really gonna crave anything. You're having interactions with your body, and that way, you know, it just makes life easier in terms of being able to stick to your fast. But this intuitive eating only comes after a while of doing it. So don't expect it from day one, don't expect it from week one, don't expect it from month one. It's not gonna happen that way, okay? So another tip that I have for you guys is, just because you've missed your eating period or your eating window doesn't mean that you can go ahead and then now binge 18 boxes of cookies, or, you know, like just eat like, you know, excessive popcorn, chocolates and whatever. Because what's going to happen with that is you're just going to get the reverse effect of what you're looking for, right? So if you didn't eat during your eating window and you want to eat a meal. Do not snack. Eat a meal, have some fruit, whatever. Don't eat too much. Eat just what your body needs, right? And if you don't really feel like eating and you've passed your eating window, fair enough, leave it as it is. Go and sleep, drink some water. When you wake up the next day or whatever, you know, eat during your eating period. You don't have to eat just because it's your eating window, okay? These are super helpful tips that even if you don't learn from me, you will learn along the process of doing this by yourself, okay? So those are my helpful tips. I hope you guys found them helpful as well. Pretty much that's my update for this month, and that's my update for intermittent fasting. For next month, I'm thinking I might show you guys, do a video of like what I eat in a day, or something. If that's something you guys are interested in, leave me a comment below and I'll definitely do that for you in my next month's update. Anyways guys, it was so lovely chatting to you again about fitness stuff. I'm beginning to enjoy doing these videos. If you enjoyed this video yourself, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if this is your first time here on my channel because you stumbled across me because you were looking for some fitness tips, yes, I do these kind of videos once a month, so go ahead and click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell as well if you would like to get notified when I drop a new video on fitness every month. I do covers, I do other kinds of videos as well. If those kind of things interest you, go ahead and look through my channel and find other videos that you might find interesting. Anyways guys, it's been real, it's been lovely. Thank you so much for watching this video to this point. Till next time, bye.